Hello everyone, this is Jotto and welcome to the Hearthstone Weekly Show, episode 65. This week we'll be going over the up-and-coming changes on Starving Buzzard and Leeroy. Now, I wasn't going to do a full video on this, but it was actually a request. I was just kind of going to mention it and put a couple words at the end of this weekly, but I think it actually warrants talking about as a full topic, because there is a lot to talk about, especially when it comes to Starving Buzzard and also the whole design aspect when it comes to Blizzard in the first place. As for the actual news for this week, there isn't much, weirdly enough. Just Lane 6 coming up. I'm doing a not really set but more expansion review on SoulForge on the 8 cards. So yeah, I'm just doing some pretty monotonous stuff. Probably 2 SoulForge videos, 2 Hearthstone videos this week, but we'll have to see. Anyway, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? So, as most of you will know by now, I should hope, there are 2 major changes coming up, which is curious, because Blizzard said they didn't make changes. Anyway, so there are 2 new changes coming up. Leeroy and Starving Buzzard have been changed rather heavily. We'll start with Starving Buzzard. Now, this one blew my mind when I saw this. I actually was just super confused. Now, Blizzard have said they don't want to make drastic changes because they would rather add cards instead. If this isn't a drastic change, I have no idea what a drastic change is. Like, they almost tripled its mana cost and then gave it +1/+1. I would rather play Cult Master than this nowadays. Actually, maybe drawing cards ahead of time is better. Ugh. It feels so clunky. Like, I don't want to play this anymore. I think they may have just killed the card, which is a terrible way of fixing things, by the way. Like, I am really disappointed with what they did to Hunter. Like, Hunter was too good. Yeah, we get it. You don't kill the class as a response to it being too good. That's what I'll say as far as that's concerned. Like, I don't agree with the change here. Basically, they changed it from a 2 mana 2/1 to a 5 mana 3/2 without changing the effect. The effect is still the same. What? It's a 2 health guy on turn 5. If they don't have removal for a 2 health guy on turn 5, there is something wrong. And you're so far ahead, you're not going to lose anyway. And the card is now almost useless. Like, you compare those two, Stampeding Kodo, Tundra Rhino, Stranglethorn Tiger. There's just better 5-drops. Why would you ever play this? There's better 5-drops specifically for Hunter, like Tundra Rhino, which doesn't see much play anyway, but this is better. So, I mean, Tundra Rhino is better than Starving Buzzard, so it's like, what? I don't get it. I think Hunter is going to die off now because they don't have any card draw. Like, they actually have 0. Like, if you wanted to fix Hunter, do something to Flare, do something to maybe Tracking. Tracking is ridiculous, but it's manageable based on the fact most people don't know how to play it. But don't do something, like, if you're going to do something to Buzzard, sure, make it 3, not 5. I think the appropriate change, in my opinion, would be, like, 3 mana draw a card, like 3 mana 2/1 draw a card as a battle cry, and then if you have a beast, draw 2, maybe? Is that too good? That might be too good. 4 mana then. No, but it's a 2/1. Like, it's just Arcane Intellect with a restriction on it. I don't think that's too good. I do not think a 3 mana, like 3 mana 1/1. 3 mana, if you really want to make sure it's not like busted. 3 mana 1/1, draw 2 if you have a beast, draw 1 normally. That is not broken at all. It's like a worse Novice Engineer unless you have a beast, and then it's better. Like, I don't understand where this change came from. This is so weird. Like, this is one of the it's one of the strangest changes they've ever made. Like, they've made changes in the past which have been slight changes that made no sense, like Captain's Parrot. Captain's Parrot, for anyone who doesn't know, was nerfed from a 1/2 to a 1/1. And in case you're wondering, no, it wasn't seeing any play beforehand either. No one was playing it, and then they were like, alright, we'll nerf it. And then no one played it ever again. But no one noticed, because no one was playing it in the first place. But in the case of Starving Buzzard, they've made a really, really good card into a really, really bad card. And for all you people who are saying, oh yay, Hunter's gone. Yeah, that's not a good thing. Hunter being gone is not a good thing. Hunter being balanced is a good thing. This is not balancing. This is like murdering the class. They did something similar to Mage back when that was too good. The difference was, like in the case of Mage, was about a lot of cards, whereas in Hunter's case, there was a lot of cards that were powerful, but you needed the draw engine. Like you needed Starving Buzzard, you needed Unleash. I don't know if Hunter is even viable anymore. Like, I'm not talking about tier 1, I mean at all. Maybe you could run Cult Master as a draw engine, I don't know. Maybe Cult Master Unleash, maybe Starving Buzzard. Ugh, 5 mana, really? I'm trying to get over this since they actually revealed what the change was. I still can't get over the fact it's 5 mana. Why not 4? Like with these stats, why not 4? Why 5? That seems so excessive. And what's even more baffling to me is that they said they tested a bunch of numbers and this was the one that felt best. How? How is that even possible? It's a 5 mana card that combos. It's like if Gadget Zan only drew on that turn with spells as a battle cry. Actually, valid comparison, Gadget Zan. But, alright, just establish this here. Starving Buzzard is a class card. It is more restricted. 1, they have to be minions, which is way less abusable than spells, and 2, they have to be beasts. And it has less stats. And you can't play it in a class that has conceal. Like, what? The comparison isn't even there. Gadget Zan is way stronger than Buzzard now. Like, actual just flat better. And people saying, oh, you can't use it with Unleash, murder. Yeah, you're not playing Unleash with Buzzard anymore, and that's turn 8. If you're playing Buzzard with Unleash as your anti-aggro stop right now, you are dead, way below when that happens. So, that's just terrible to me. Like, it looks bad, and then you put it side by side with Gadget Zan, and you're just like, what the hell happened here? Like, how was this ever a decent comparison? This makes Cult Master look good. It makes actual Cult Master look good. That is not a good thing. Cult Master is a 4 mana 4/2, and that's not good. Like, it used to be a 3/4, and that was... But, it's a 4/2 for 4, and people are actually considering playing that over Buzzard now. I don't know what you've done, Buzzard, unless maybe Buzzard is still good. I don't see how that's even possible. But maybe Buzzard is still good and we're all crazy. Like, the entire player base is crazy. Everyone. I don't think I've seen anyone who has seen that this card is still being playable. A lot of people are happy about it because they don't like Hunters. But they should have just dealt with what was wrong with Hunters. They should have dealt with their consistency. Like, Flare destroying traps is just silly. It just is. Like, Flare destroying traps, revealing, conceal, and drawing is just dumb. It should destroy your own traps as well. Flare is really silly and restricts. Something else I really don't understand is when there was a tweet response where someone said, well, Flare is restricting people from playing secrets. Is there anything that you're going to do about this? Because it's affecting what we play. And Ben Brode, I think it was Ben Brode. Don't quote me on that. It was a blue. I think it was Ben Brode. It sounds like something Ben Brode would say. Anyway, whoever it was, they said, yeah, Flare is really irritating that it's affecting the way people build their decks just by existing, and the fact that it's in Hunter decks. However, we won't change it. Or more accurately, they said we don't foresee a change in the future. So, let me just get this straight. You're not going to nerf a 1-mana card that prevents your opponents from playing secrets in their decks because of the amount of Hunters at all. But you're perfectly fine with nerfing a 2-drop that combos to 5 mana. What? Like, I mean, just real talk, you guys know I'm one of the people who is the kind of person who criticizes Blizzard a lot. But normally when I criticize Blizzard, it's like a small thing. This is actually really stupid in my opinion. Like, this is actually one of the stupidest changes I've seen in a long time. Not the nerf itself, but how drastic it is. And the fact that they're not, like, you're not willing to change a card that punishes people for putting a card in their deck they want to play, in terms of secrets, But you're perfectly fine with nerfing a 2-drop to a 5-drop and making it completely unplayable. Okay. Okay. This is one of those weekly shows that's turning into Jotto Rant's episode 50. But this is pretty bad, I think, from Blizzard's point of view. They may have just killed hunters. Like, just with this change. They may have killed hunters. So, I don't know exactly what they're doing. I'm expecting hunters to drop to tier 2 at least. Possibly tier 3. But this is a really bad move, in my opinion. And what makes it even worse, by the way, is that this change happened, a month after Nax? This change happened a month after Nax. Okay. So yeah, we're done dusted with the month after Nax. Hunters ruining everything as I hit my headphones. But Hunters ruining everything, we need to nerf it, blah 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 blah. Metagame is like 70% Hunters, and it was more like 60%, let's be honest here. What I am not okay with, though, the most out of this, is mostly why this change is here. Not that it's being changed. I agree with the change. But you nerf Buzzard after a month of Hunter, and you don't touch Leeroy after 4 months of Miracle Rogue. 4! I know tons of people who stopped playing Hearthstone in that time, waiting for Naxxramas because they were sick of Miracle Rogue. I almost did. I actually kept playing Hearthstone because of my team. That's the only reason I kept playing Hearthstone in that time. I know so many people who stopped playing because of Miracle Rogue for 4 months. And then Hunter is out for 1 month, and it's like, alright, Hunter's dominating for 1 month, it's not even as drastic as Miracle Rogue was, let's nerf him into oblivion. But when it comes to Miracle Rogue, we're going to wait for, 6 months after the start of the domination period? And it's like, you know what, let's tone down Leeroy a bit. I think we've waited long enough. I think we're really sure that Leeroy is too good. Let's turn him down a bit. And I'm actually not joking on the 6-month thing. I am not joking. It started in March. I am not joking about 6 months. Like, 4 months of dominance on ladder, including the Hunter time. People who were winning were playing Miracle. So, first month, people were playing Sunshine Hunter. Sunshine Hunter gets nerfed. People were playing Miracle completely in high-level tournaments and Legend to beat Hunters. And then they realized Miracle was just the best deck. So for the next 3 months, we endured Leeroy Jenkins turn 8 wins and backspace rogue to kill other rogues. For 3 months. Just that. It got worse over time. Like, a lot of people have called that time in Hearthstone's history the burst meta. And it is one of the least fun metagames I think I've ever played. Even Freeze Mage, I think, doesn't come close, because that only lasted for 2 weeks. That was one of the least fun metagames I have ever seen in a card game. Like, I'm actually serious. 1, the deck was oppressive, and 2, it was the least fun deck I've ever seen to play against. It just killed you on turn 8. And that happened for 4 months. 4 months of Hearthstone's history was Miracle Rogue. And they're like, nah, we're not going to change it. Nah, there's no foreseeable differences we need to make to Miracle Rogue. It's fine. And then they finally nerfed Leeroy. I'm just done. Like, they finally nerfed Leeroy after like 6 months. I'm happy, because it means you don't get any stupid combos anymore with this card. It's going to be causing them problems until the end of time if it was at 4 mana. I mean, we had Handlock using it, we had some token turrets using it back in Burst Meta, and we had, like, it's just late. It's just late. Like, why is Leeroy being nerfed now and not before? Leeroy should have been nerfed 4 months ago. I'm actually not joking. It should have been nerfed 2 months before Naxxramas. Like, it should have been nerfed ages ago. I mean, I'm glad it's nerfed now. Like, this is a perfect change in my opinion. 5 mana, go. Like, perfect change in my opinion. It's fine. If it had been 4 months ago, I think it would have been so much better for the game if it happened 4 months ago. But what I'm most annoyed about with this patch, as you can tell, I'm really irritated with this patch. With Leeroy, though, I'm not. Leeroy being 5 mana is absolutely fine in my book. What I'm really pissed off about is, 1, they're trying to kill Hunters, let's be honest here. They're trying to kill Hunters, and 2, they nerf Hunter after a month, whereas they let the Hearthstone player base endure Miracle for 4 months. Like, that's really bad design decisions. Like, really, really bad. It's pretty hard to defend that as well. Like, I know a lot of people who'd be, like, defending them, saying, yeah, Buzzard was too good, yeah. One thing you can't defend, though, is why Miracle Rogue was left alone for 4 months, dominating. Like, top 16 every single season was Miracle Rogue for, like, 4 seasons in a row. And then Hunter does it for 1 season, and then that's too much. Or 2, technically. It was from Wing 2. 2, technically, and that's too much. But Miracle Rogue, 4 seasons, fine. Nax will fix it. When's Nax coming out, you say? Almost half a year from now, but it's fine, Nax will fix it. That's literally the attitude they had, and it pissed off a lot of people. Like, I remember when I was starting up Versus Series, when I was getting the idea done, I was talking to people like Dark 1X, for example, and he said he wouldn't even consider playing anything to do with Hearthstone until Naxxramas came out, because the meta was that cancerous. It was terrible. And it was one of the worst I've ever seen, and they didn't change anything. And at that point I was like, alright, so they're sticking to their no change policy, which is stupid, but they're sticking to their no change policy. And then this happened. Like, it's not even the Leeroy, this is the wrong card to have up here. That stupid change is one of the worst changes they've ever made. Like, this is one of the best changes they've ever made. The problem is, a good change and a bad change put together don't make an even patch. In fact, in this case, the bad change is way worse than the good one. Because the good one's subtle. 1 mana, it's pretty subtle. I mean, it's a big deal, but it's pretty subtle. That is not subtle. That is almost tripling the mana cost. Like, what? It's so silly. I can't even... It's actually breaking my brain. Like, I can't quite understand the thought process here. I can't understand the thought process behind the change. Well, I mean, I understand the thought process behind a nerf being needed to Hunter, but I don't understand why it is not Flare. I don't understand why Starving Buzzard had to literally kick the bucket in this case. The card is gone and is like dead and buried at this point. Like, it's out. Enjoy your Buzzards until the change happens, and then you're just gone. So I'm really disappointed with Blizzard here. Like, I am really disappointed with the way they handled this. It's pretty terrible in my opinion. This is one of the worst changes they could have possibly made, and it's going to result in a lot of unhappy Hunter players. Because when a nerf comes through, the reason why it's going to result in a lot of unhappy unhappy Hunter players is, you got to understand, most of the players playing Hunter are playing because it's the best deck. However, there is a portion of players who are playing Hunter because they enjoy playing Hunter. And they can't enjoy playing Hunter anymore. Ever. Like, it's gone. The deck is dead. And, like, this is such a big nerf, the deck might actually just be dead right now. Just on this nerf. It will actually probably die. Especially from competitive play. Maybe you can get something to work, but especially from competitive play, it is dead. That is such a major change. But, unfortunately, Blizzard hasn't really thought about the number of Hunter players who actually enjoy playing the class. And are saying, you know what, screw you people, you're not allowed to play your class anymore. You can try, and you can draw 5 cards for 8 mana. Nice sprint, by the way, over 2 cards. So, yeah, it's pretty atrocious. I mean, there's not much else I can say, so I think I'll stop here. But it is a pretty atrocious change, and I hope that they don't do more of these in the future, although they probably will. So I'm saying adieu to Hunters. Goodbye, Hunters. It was nice knowing you. And I am also saying goodbye to Leeroy, which I'm happy about. I am happy Leeroy is gone. Well, it's not gone. It will still be played in aggro decks. But anyway, it's gone in combo decks. Go away, combo decks. I hate combo decks. I think most people hate combo decks. Why? Because they're not fun to play against. So Leeroy, no more combos, hopefully. There'll still be a couple. Leeroy reincarnate still works, right? Yeah, that's 9 mana. 9 instead of 8. That's 9 mana, so you can still do that. You cannot do the Shadow Step though, because that costs 11. You need a coin for that. Same with the Faceless combo, you need a coin. Which I think in Handlock's case is less sort of effective. If it's less effective because they often don't use the coin. But in the case of Miracle, that's gone. hopefully. So that's gone, and that's a pretty big deal in my opinion. And something very, very happy, because I am happy that Miracle is actually completely gone. Like I had to go through 4 months without being the best deck and being everywhere, and then I had to sift through another 2 months of it being around. So I'm happy that deck is gone. It's so irritating to play against someone. It's one of the things they've been trying to kill Miracle so many times. They've tried to kill Miracle 3 times over the past year, literally a year since last September. There was the Edwin change and the Shiv change and things like that. And then there was also the Conceal changes and removal of Adrenaline Rush and things like that. And the Mana Addict nerf, and they couldn't kill it. And now they've killed Leeroy. So the problem with Miracle Rogue is every single time they add a new rogue spell, they have to be careful. Because every single time they add a new rogue spell that's below 3 mana, it could be abused. So Miracle Rogue is probably going to come back in a couple sets from now. Probably like, my call is about 3 sets from now, 3 expansions. Miracle Rogue will be back. But for now it's gone, which I'm happy about. Anyway, I've ranted long enough about this, but I'm pretty displeased with what they've done in this particular change. But anyway, I've ranted long enough. It's been like 20 minutes or so. So anyway, I'm going to sign off for the day. Thanks for watching, I guess. If you like the content, please subscribe. If you have any feedback or just pissed off about the buzzard change or anything, put it in the comment section below. But as for now, so it's been Jotto, well, ranting Jotto, I guess, signing off.